Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to be announcing the winners of the June PleinAir Salon art competition that was judged by Kathleen Dunphy. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Carrie Stober. I've been with PleinAir Salon, with Streamline Publishing for about 12 years, and half of that time I have spent managing the PleinAir Salon. I want to give you guys a quick overview for anybody who might be watching the replay about what the PleinAir Salon is. First, the PleinAir Salon is a monthly online art competition. There is no gallery or exhibition, shipping our work, anything like that. It's all done through the website, which makes it super easy. And we have a new competition and a new judge every month, so there are always lots of opportunities to win cash prizes. We also have, this competition is two-dimensional and painting and drawing, so we've got 19 categories for that. You can even submit artwork into multiple categories if it applies, or the same painting in multiple categories, multiple artworks, whichever one you choose. However, we do not do anything with abstract or AI, digital, anything like that. We invite top artists as well as gallery and museum professionals to judge our competition. So this is a great opportunity to get your artwork in front of some very talented and influential people. We have 22 awards and give over $2,000 in cash prizes every month, which adds up to over $25,000 each year for our monthly winners. And we also promote our award winners in our magazines, newsletters, social media, and this gives artists a chance to be seen by collectors and galleries and get some national exposure. Each of the monthly winners are automatically included in the judging for our annual competition, where we award over $25,000 in cash prizes. The grand prize winner receives a check for $15,000 and has their winning painting featured on the cover of PleinAir magazine. In total, we are awarding over $50,000 in all cash prizes throughout the year. This is Camille Priswatic, our most recent grand prize winner, and you want to talk about dedication. Camille started entering the first annual competition and had entered over 250 paintings in the last 13 years. And I was so excited to finally be able to give her that big check. And sadly, we lost Camille last week after a recent bout with cancer. So very sad to lose her, thinking of her family. And you will be able to see her winning painting on the cover of the August-September issue, which actually comes out tomorrow. So there are a few questions I often get asked. Number one is, why did that painting win? It's obviously not a PleinAir painting. And the reason for that is because we're not strictly a PleinAir competition. And I know that's confusing because we have PleinAir in our name, but we were created by PleinAir magazine, but we do have a variety of non-PleinAir categories. That's just how we do it. And the second thing I often get asked is, can the judges give individual feedback? And the short answer is no. The long answer is our judges actually look at and score every painting that gets entered every month, which sometimes can be over 1,000 paintings. So it's just not feasible for them to give individual feedback on every painting. And I also want to mention that we do a blind judging system, which means that we don't show the judges any information about the artist. They're only seeing the painting and then details like medium and dimensions. And since we are on the topic of judges, I want to bring in a very special guest. Welcome, Kathleen Dunphy, our judge for June. Hi, Kathleen. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to judge. I know you've been very busy. For those that might not know who you are, do you want to give us a little bit of a background on who Kathleen is?
Yeah, sure. I'm a full-time artist. I've been painting since about 1990 something or other, long enough to have had some experience in both plein air and studio landscape and animal art. And I have been a participant in the, I've both entered the PleinAir Salon, and then I've also been a presenter, a person presenting at the PleinAir convention, and have enjoyed all the things that you all have done with Streamline Publishing and all the events that you've sponsored. So it's really an honor to be here.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you were able to make it today. So we are going to go through our awards. So I'll be bringing Kathleen back here in just a little bit. So Kathleen, I will see you shortly. And the first award we're going to talk about tonight is our Honorable Mention Awards. In addition to our category awards, we've got 19 of these, and these 19 artists receive a $100 discount to painttube.tv and are included in a showcase in the digital edition of PleinAir magazine. They will also be promoted throughout our various websites, newsletters, and social platforms. And our first award for this evening is Animals and Birds Honorable Mention. And this goes to, Caitlin Laylene Hatch for In Balance. Artist over 65 Honorable Mention goes to Katie Horacek for Afternoon in Shadows. Artist under 40 Honorable Mention goes to Megan Whitfield for Seaport at Night. Building Honorable Mention goes to Catherine Hillis for Busy Busy. Clouds and Sky Honorable Mention goes to Jill McGannon for Apricot Echoes. Drawing Honorable Mention goes to Annie Murphy Robinson for Adapt. Figure and Portrait Honorable Mention goes to Casey Baugh for The Music Teacher. Floral Honorable Mention goes to Catherine Treychok to Worship in the Desert. Our Landscape Honorable Mention goes to Bill Farnsworth for Peace on Earth. Our Nocturne Honorable Mention goes to Kyle Ma, Santa Maria della Salute Nocturne. Plein Air Acrylic and Gouache Honorable Mention is Umbrella and Laundry by Bernard Delario. Plein Air Landscape Honorable Mention goes to Carol Gray Wyman for Passage. Plein Air Oil Honorable Mention goes to Ryan Jensen for Full Count. Plein Air Pastel Honorable Mention goes to Lisa Rajopoulos for Make Hay While the Sun Shines. Plein Air Watercolor Honorable Mention goes to Emily Olson for Costa Rican Tree. Still Life Honorable Mention goes to Tony D'Amico for The Rookie. Vehicle Honorable Mention goes to Mark Daly for See How She Scoons. Water Honorable Mention goes to Donna Bidgie for Passing Through. And finally, our Western Honorable Mention goes to Lon Brower for Missouri Rain. Congratulations to all of our Honorable Mention recipients. You'll be able to see their awards and their paintings in the June Winners Gallery on the PleinAir Salon site, as well as in the digital edition of the October-November issue of PleinAir Magazine. Next up are the category awards. These artists each receive a $50 cash prize, a showcase in PleinAir Magazine. They'll be included in the winners galleries on our websites for Fine Art Connoisseur, Outdoor Painter, PleinAir Salon. They are also going to be eligible for editorial coverage in our various newsletters, as well as exposure through our various websites. These artists are all now entered into our annual competition that we will be awarding in May. So our first category award is for Best Animals and Birds. And the winner is Rosanna Gadani for Vedetta Nocturna. Best Artist over 65 goes to Delise Blanchard for Field Blooms. Best Artist under 40 goes to Nisha Grishon for By the Volleyball Court. Best Building goes to Thomas W. Schaller for Obsession. Best Clouds and Sky goes to Christine Code for Walking in Your Landscape. Best Drawing goes to Annie Murphy Robinson for Casey After the Dance. Best Figure and Portrait goes to Casey Baugh for Wallace. Best Floral goes to Ryan Jensen for Office Still Life. Best Landscape goes to Kyle Ma for Maricopa Point Morning. Best Nocturne goes to Kirk Larson for Leave the Light On. Best Plein Air Acrylic and Gouache goes to Bernard Delario for Rowing in Trieste. Best Plein Air Landscape goes to Elizabeth Billups for Winter Garden, aka Musical Notes. Best Plein Air Oil goes to Deborah Tilby for Birdhouses. Best Plein Air Pastel goes to Marla Baguetta for Winter Colors. Best Plein Air Watercolor goes to Poppy Balser for A Pink Lighter Than Air. Best Still Life goes to Robin Kaspari for Orchard Apples. Best Vehicle goes to Kirk Kwong Lok for Morning Song Number 10. Best Water goes to Matthew Cutter for Surge. And finally, Best Western goes to Bill Farnsworth for Quaking. Congratulations to all of our those aren't honorables. Those are our category award winners. You'll be able to see their artwork in the June gallery on the PleinAir Salon site, as well as in the October-November issue of PleinAir magazine. And now we are going to bring back to the screen. Hi, Kathleen.
Hello.
A little bigger there. So welcome back. Can you give us a little insight into what you look for when you're judging an art competition?
I think the thing that really for me is really one of the most important things is good drawing in a painting, which kind of sounds counterintuitive, but to have something accurately depicted, even taking into consideration expression and what the artist's intent was, but to have to have something that is well crafted with good drawing is really important, and hand in hand with drawing is design. So something that is well designed and really catches your eye as something that was well thought out. Spontaneous paintings are great, and sometimes spontaneous paintings have a whole lot of energy, but also that idea of having design so that the painting is put together as a whole and really reads as a whole is very important.
Very good, thank you. Okay, so we'll go through our awards here, and then I'm going to ask Kathleen to share why she chose those paintings. So
Okay.
Our very first award is third place overall, and this artist receives a $200 cash prize. And our third place award is Kyle Ma for Overcast Day in the Tuileries. So congratulations, Kyle. Kathleen, do you want to share why you selected this painting?
Speaking of design, I think this is just a beautifully designed painting. To paint architecture effectively without being tremendously tight, I think is really, really difficult. And I think if you look at the way the windows are indicated, but not overly drawn, overly depicted, especially off to the right-hand side with the part of the building that's behind that purple tree, I think it's really done with a lot of restraint, but it's still accurate enough that it reads correctly.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is making sure that you have both this very complex building, but then you also have this complex statue in the foreground, and how to make sure that the building stays sort of as a secondary player in the scene, as opposed to trying to take over too much when it is so ornate and so beautiful. And I think by using those muted colors and the softer edges, the artist just did a wonderful job with keeping that sort of submissive to the main focal point, which is of course that beautiful statue that is so well drawn and painted. And then the lead in the foreground, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of being cropped in my view that I have here on my computer right now, but there we go. The lead in with those colorful flowers in the foreground, I think is really effective to bring us up towards the statue, and then that repetition of the purple that's both behind the statue and then muted and shown elsewhere within the painting really helps to lead your eye through the painting. So it just very well crafted, well thought out, and then a beautiful application of paint too.
I would agree. It's stunning.
Yes.
Congratulations, Kyle. Our next award is second place overall, and this artist receives a $400 cash prize, and the award goes to Kevin McPherson for Market Day Aix-en-Provence.
So I probably should have known this was Kevin's work. I didn't realize that. But that's one of the beauties of judging, is that we don't know the names of the artists. But
yes,
this painting feels like there's light like behind it, like somehow sunlight is shining through that painting and coming out towards us.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that and to pull that off without a tremendous amount of contrast. I mean, there's a few dark, I'll say black almost in quotes for some of the items that are in the marketplace there, but really there's not much that's very dark. And the whole thing just feels so filled with light. There's no question that the buildings behind the market are in shadow, but that value is so close and still it's pulled off. I mean, that really takes an awful lot of understanding of temperature values and temperatures and values in order to pull that off. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, if you look at the way the windows are depicted on those buildings, they're really not overdone, and each one of them is slightly different, and each one of them has a slightly different color and value. Not so much that it distracts us, but enough that it keeps it lively and believable. It doesn't look like it's sort of carved out of, well, I was going to say carved out of stone, but I guess they probably are made out of stone. But it feels more like the way that we would perceive it if we were standing right there, instead of having it really sort of just written out exactly. It allows us to come in and experience the painting by not telling us everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. Right now I'm drawn to all of the light on the umbrellas, and then the one figure in the center, just the backlighting on her is just amazing.
And look at that figure. There's no face really.
Yeah.
But we don't need that. And some of the other figures that I love, that to the far left, there's a near the red table, there's a woman in a blue shirt kind of leaning over.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why I'm calling her a woman, but I think it is a woman. And I think it is a person, but when you look at it, it's just little chunks of paint that somehow we all, our brain puts it together and says, this is a person looking at something that they want to buy. And to do that, and to have that many figures in a painting and pull all of that off, boy, that really takes some skill. That takes drawing skill, and as I said before, just a true understanding of values to be able to pull off those tight values like that with those temperature shifts that hold it all together.
Yeah. Fantastic painting. Congratulations, Kevin. Okay, our final award for today is our first place overall award, and this artist receives a $600 cash prize, and they will also get a feature on Fine Art Connoisseur, Outdoor Painter, Fine Art Today, and PleinAir Today. And the winner is Annie Murphy Robinson for Emily.
So I just think this painting, drawing, I just kept going back to it. It was just very compelling. There was a lot that was kind of mysterious about it. If you look at the background, you kind of don't really know what's casting the shadow, and I think those are branches behind her head, but it's kind of ominous in a way. But she seems peaceful in her facial expression. So above and beyond the fact that it's just tremendous draftsmanship, incredible draftsmanship, and understanding of the medium, it also has a real mood and an emotion. Mm-hmm. And I think that can be such a hard thing to convey in painting. And in black and white, you don't have the help of color to get you there. So to be able to pull off that kind of emotion and mood and craftsmanship and beautiful, unusual design all in one in black and white, to me, really pushed that up to the first place position. I love the fact that half of her face is in shadow, but if you really look, you can still see the features. There's nothing that is sort of skipped over or half done, but there's nothing also that's overdone. So that's a delicate balance to find, and I think this is just really, really masterfully put together.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Congratulations, Annie. Okay, let me bring us back on here. So Kathleen, before we go, can you, is there any advice that you have for any artist who is thinking about entering a competition?
Yeah, I have a few things to say about that. First of all, yes, enter competitions. And speaking from experience, get ready to be rejected. And realize that a rejection from one show or one competition doesn't mean that your work isn't good. Doesn't mean that particular painting isn't good. I think there were over 1,000 entries that I looked at for this particular competition. And I would sincerely hope that if I were to look at them all again, I would make the same choices. But, it can be difficult when you look at that many paintings. So tomorrow you could enter that same painting in another competition and win first place, or you could have won first place and not even get an honorable mention. As much as judges try desperately to be impartial, there's certain things that we all like, and that personal taste comes into play regardless of how hard we try to, make ourselves just look at things, as sort of sanitized as we can. We still are human beings with emotions and likes and dislikes. So never let a rejection. Well, I can't say never let it discourage you, because we all hate it. Nobody loves to be rejected, but let it just make you realize that you just need to keep going and to keep pushing on and to move into the next competition that you're going to enter, and to do a better job, or to just keep doing good work. Let's just say that. The other thing is, and this probably sounds self-evident, but it's something that's really important, is get the best photos that you can. I hate taking pictures of my work. It's so hard, and it's really difficult to get it accurate with the right color and without glare. But take the time and find a way to do it. Either pay somebody to do it or find a way to do it yourself. And your paintings are only as good as what I or whatever judge is going to see online.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't use my imagination and say, well, this would be good if it didn't have glare on it. So make sure that you get a really good photo, crop out any frames or any shadows, make sure your hands aren't holding it or any background isn't showing up. That makes a really big difference for judging. You know, if I see a photo that isn't well done, I feel like the artist isn't being really serious and professional about their work. And it makes it more difficult for me as a judge to see the work. So stack the cards in your favor and give us a good photo to start with.
Yeah, I've noticed some of the paintings that I've done recently, I've been trying to get photos of, and that camera that on your iPhone just does not cut it. It either makes
no. In fact, don't use your iPhone because it now, especially the new ones. I got a 14 or something a few months ago, and compared to my 8, it was like a whole new ball game. But it ups the contrast, and it ups the saturation, so you don't have the painting that you're looking at. Sometimes it looks better than the painting you did, but you can't send that out there and expect people to be happy with the painting if they buy it. So I use an old digital SLR camera. And then I take my paintings outside and I put them in the shade under an awning. That way you don't have the blue influence of the sky. And then I just aim straight down. I put them down on the ground and I aim straight down and take photos that way. And it's, hit or miss. Certain times a day I can get good photos. Other times a day I can't. Certain times a year it's really hard because of the light changing. But I don't have access to a really good photographer that I can use. And I've just found that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. That's great advice. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Catherine, I thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know that you had a very busy week, so I'm very appreciative that you were here.
No problem. That's okay.
I want to say
it's an honor to be here. I really do appreciate your asking me to do it. And there were so many beautiful paintings. And to anybody who didn't get an award or didn't get in the top 100 or whatever, just honestly, there's so much artwork out there, and you just have to keep trying and keep doing it. So thank you for letting me look at your work.
Thank you, Kathleen. And thank you to everyone who entered. Thank you to all of our watchers for this evening. Congratulations to everyone. And don't forget to head over to PleinAirSalon.com today. It is the last day to enter the July competition that will be judged by Michelle Dunaway. So head over there after the show. And I just thank you all so much. I'm so grateful for all of you. Have a wonderful night.